What if the one move that stabilizes our entire secondary isn't a splashy name, but a perfect fit we've been circling for months? What if the solution arrives not from the waiver wire or a desperate bargain, but from a quick flip that turns a rival's new toy into Detroit's missing piece? And what if the timing right now, with the season still malleable, changes the NFC picture in a single afternoon? Here's my promise. I'm going to walk you through the injuries, the cap mechanics, the market pressure, and the exact traits this defense needs to survive the next 6 weeks and attack January. I'll show you why the usual next man up mantra isn't enough, why the scheme fit matters more than brand names, and how the right corner instantly reshapes how Aaron Glenn calls a game. Stay with me, because the payoff isn't speculation for clicks. It's the clearest path to keeping this season on schedule. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report. If you want Lions intel with real context and zero fluff, you're in the right place. Tap in, drop a like so this reaches more Lions fans, and let's go inside Allen Park the way we always do. First principles, then moves. First, the reality. Terry and Arnold avoided the worst, and the building breathed again. But a shoulder that needs management is still a storyline. DJ Reed has been out. The safety room has been banged up, and the nickel rotation has carried more weight than planned. That's not a crisis this staff plans for contingencies, but it compresses options. You can survive a week with patchwork coverage. You can't build an identity on it. An identity is the entire point of this defense. Compress windows, tackle clean, and win the first route break so the front can eat. Second, the market. Everyone wants the same thing in October. A trustworthy outside corner who can hold up a man on third down and slide inside when the game plan demands match rules. That player almost never shakes free, unless a team's internal calculus changes or a cap timeline forces a shuffle. We saw the board move this week fast. A headline corner changed addresses, contract clocks reset, and a new front office decided it preferred different traits. That creates a narrow but real window for an aggressive team to step in and reroute value. Third, the traits we actually need. I'm not chasing a highlight merchant. I want a technician who plays through the catch, can survive on an island without panic grabbing, and understands pattern matching rules. Press feet, patient hands, plus short area burst, a tackler who finishes. If he can moonlight in the slot without losing eyes on crossers, even better. That profile does two things immediately. It lets Brian Branch be selective with his chaos, and it reduces how often Kirby Joseph has to play hero over the top. That, in turn, frees Aaron Glenn to heat the pocket on his terms, not an emergency. Now let's talk fit and film. Greg Newsome II checks boxes this defense values: mirror quickness, clean transitions, and a knack for staying connected without drawing laundry. He's comfortable in press, understands leverage against split releases, and tackles with enough force to end drives. He's not a stat-chasing corner. He's a drive killer force to throw to be perfect or live to see fourth down. That's exactly the kind of adult in the room who lets your pass rush hunt on schedule. Contract context matters, and this is where the door cracks open. Newsome is on the 5th-year option controllable for now, extension eligible next. That scares off some teams mid-season. It shouldn't scare Detroit. Brad Holmes has earned the right to buy certainty when the scheme fit is this clean and the room needs a stabilizer. You're not renting vibes, you're acquiring a corner whose prime aligns with the core and whose value sits in the CB1B CB2 plus band. Translate that to the field. You don't have to chase matchups every snap. You can play your rules and win honest downs. But why now? Because the calendar is leverage. The earlier you stabilize a coverage shell, the faster the communication hardens and the route distribution chart shrinks. October reps are bank confidence in December. And when you've already invested in a front that wins on first contact, the best return isn't a sack artist. It's a corner who shaves a half second off the QB's comfort. That's the invisible yardage that decides conference seeds. Let's hit the pathway, because this is where it gets real. With Jacksonville owning the player today, the only way Detroit makes this happen is with a fast reroute. a pick upgrade that fits both teams' timelines, plus a modest sweetener if the extension gets done. That's the anatomy of a midseason flip that makes football sense. You don't need a player-for-player swap. You need clarity, appetite, and a partner willing to turn this week's acquisition into next year's flexibility. Jacksonville just reset their corner room. A quick profit is not irrational. Detroit, on the other hand, trades certainty for certainty, known fit for known cost, with the upside of keeping a young stud to his prime. Football fit again in practical terms. Newsome gives Aaron Glenn the courage to call what he wants on 3rd and 6. Press, rotate late, trap the glance route, and force a check down 2 yards shy. He lets you play more single high when you want to tilt his safety to Jameson's side on offense-driven possessions, because you trust the outside to survive without constant help. He pairs cleanly with Branch's instincts. Branch can reclaim the role of chaos engine rather than emergency patch. And when Terrion Arnold is back to full go, you suddenly have a trio with overlapping skills that can match any modern 11 personnel set without begging the pass. Rush to save you. Cap sanity check. Detroit can absorb the present year cash without breaking the plan. You're not mortgaging the future, you're advancing it. An extension, if pursued after the season, lives in the tier that respects the position without handcuffing the roster. And because the room has leaders who police standards, think the Campbell to Glenn, culture chain Newsome slides into expectations, not a mystery. That's how you avoid the midseason fit tax that ruins good ideas. Here's the conversation in Allen Park this week. Stripped of rumor paint. Do we believe our coverage rules can hold long enough for the front to finish if we stay in-house? If yes, you buy time with short-term signings and wait for health. If no, you pay for a corner who instantly raises your floor, protects the young star's ramp-up, and gives you the option to kick Branch around the formation like a queen on the chessboard. That's not panic. That's proactive roster architecture in a season with real expectations. All right, deep breath. This is the moment you came for. The scenario on the board, the one that transforms this defense instantly if both sides lean in, is Detroit confirming Greg Newsome II as a Lion via a rapid reroute, turning a 48-hour-old situation into the exact midseason stabilization this secondary needs. That's the headline I'm bracing for if the final asks line up. Day 2 pick with a conditional bump tied to Snap's playoff advancement. Window protections that keep Holmes in control. And a handshake understanding that extension talks wait until after the season. It's bold, it's targeted, and it fits everything this staff has said with their actions about competing right now. Now, before I land this plane, I want your football brain in the comments. Would you greenlight this reroute if the cost is a second plus a late conditional? Would you prefer to slow play with a veteran like Stephon Gilmore and hold your picks? If Newsome arrives, how would you deploy him day 1 boundary only, or rotate him inside on motion to keep leverage? Tell me where you draw the line, because timing matters as much as price. My concise read. If the medical timelines stay murky and the room needs a grown-up corner to cut explosive plays, Newsome is the cleanest answer on the market. He fits the scheme, he respects leverage, and he upgrades the call sheet. The acquisition cost is meaningful, but not franchise-altering, and the extension math is manageable. Most importantly, his presence rebalances the entire defense, so the pass rush and coverage finally sing the same song. That's how you turn a tense month into a springboard. Drop your takes below deal structure, deployment, extension ideas. I'll be in there with you. And if you want fast updates and deep dive breakdowns as this story evolves, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, smash the like, and turn on alerts. I'll keep you ahead of the curve with Cat Logic, Film Truth, and the kind of context that actually helps you see Sundays coming.